Origins and timeline. The roots of the Ukraine-Russia war stretch back to 2014, after months of protest in Kyiv's Maidan Square. Ukraine's pro-Russian president was ousted. In response, Moscow moved quickly, annexing Crimea, a move condemned worldwide. But the crisis didn't stop there. In eastern Ukraine, in the Donbas region, pro-Russian separatists, backed by Moscow, clashed with Ukrainian forces. What followed was a low-intensity war that simmered for 8 long years, claiming over 14,000 lives. Meanwhile, Russia steadily increased its pressure. Cyber attacks, disinformation, and a massive military buildup along Ukraine's border. The world watched, unsure if Moscow would actually go further. Then, on February 24, 2022, the simmering conflict exploded. Russia launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine, sparking the largest war in Europe since World War II, and changing global politics overnight. Key turning points. Ukraine's resistance stunned the world. Despite being outgunned, it regained Kherson in late 2022, one of the war's first major turning points. But Russia struck back. Fierce battles raged across the east, and by 2023, the city of Bakhmut fell after months of brutal, grinding combat. Soon after, Avdiivka followed in 2024, giving Russia fresh momentum. Yet Ukraine refused to yield. Their forces launched daring counterattacks, including cross-border raids that shook Russian soil. In mid-2024, the fight escalated in Kharkiv, opening another dangerous front. Then came one of the most shocking moves of the war. Ukrainian troops striking deep into Russia's Kursk region. It was a bold signal that Kyiv would not just defend, but hit back. Diplomacy versus war. On the global stage, diplomacy has become just as fierce as the battles on the ground. While soldiers clash at the front lines, leaders clash in conference rooms. Today's White House summit brought together Donald Trump, Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelensky, and key European leaders. The mission: explore a path to peace. But outside the walls of diplomacy, Russian missiles were once again raining down on Ukrainian cities. Trump has pitched sweeping security guarantees, something resembling NATO-style protection for Ukraine. A bold promise, but one that carries immense risks, not only for Kyiv, but for the entire Western alliance. Europe remains divided. Some leaders push for compromise, hoping to end the bloodshed. Others warn that any deal without full Russian withdrawal would legitimize Moscow's territorial gains. For Ukraine, the stakes couldn't be higher. Accepting half measures might mean peace on paper, but surrender on the ground. Rejecting compromise could prolong a devastating war with no end in sight. The world now faces a critical question. Can diplomacy stop the missiles, or will the battlefield continue to decide Ukraine's fate? Civilians and human cost. Beyond the politics and military strategies lies a far more painful reality. Every explosion, every missile strike leaves families broken and futures stolen. Since 2022, tens of thousands of civilians have been killed. Millions more have fled their homes, becoming refugees across Europe or displaced within Ukraine itself. Entire neighborhoods have been reduced to rubble. The war has ripped children from classrooms, patients from hospitals, and workers from their livelihoods. What was once ordinary life, school runs, weddings, family dinners, has been replaced by fear, loss, and survival. Behind every headline are human stories. Mothers searching for missing sons. Fathers holding back tears as they leave home. Children who may never return to the playgrounds they once knew. The human cost is staggering, and unless peace is prioritized, that cost will only rise. What could happen next? The future of this war hangs on a knife's edge. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has signaled openness to a three-way summit, even if it means sitting at the same table as Vladimir Putin. On one path, diplomacy could finally break the deadlock. A truce, security guarantees, and perhaps the first real steps toward peace since 2022. It would be fragile, but for millions, it could mean survival. On the other path, escalation looms. Russia may seek to seize more territory. Ukraine may strike deeper inside Russian soil. Allies may be forced to choose between deeper involvement or stepping back. What's certain is this: Ukraine's sovereignty remains non-negotiable, and the stakes have never been higher. Global ripple effects. This war is not just Ukraine's struggle, it has shaken the entire world. Energy prices spiked, inflation surged, and millions of refugees crossed into Europe. It's creating the largest displacement crisis since World War II. NATO expanded, with countries like Finland and Sweden abandoning neutrality to join the alliance. Meanwhile, Russia has tightened ties with China, Iran, and others, redrawing the map of global power. From food shortages in Africa to rising defense budgets in the West, the ripple effects are everywhere. The Ukraine war is no longer a regional conflict. It is a test of the global order itself. The outcome will define not just Ukraine's future, but the world's. Conclusion and call to action. The Ukraine-Russia war is far from over. But understanding its roots, its turning points, and its human cost is the first step toward change. Every story matters. Every fact matters. And every voice raised for peace makes a difference. Your awareness is more powerful than you think. So stay informed, share this story, and join the conversation. Like, comment, and subscribe, because informed viewers shape the future.